Okay, so I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago. I'd say about something just dropped dirt there. And it was about a month and a half ago or so. Oh, maybe it's been longer than that. Yeah, the kids were still in school, so that was back in early June, month and a half, 2 months ago. I picked up this John Deere 730 down in Texas. As you can see, the 730 has a big old propane tank on it, and it's really a nice tractor. Good shape, runs well. Didn't pay too god-awful much for it, but there it is. But anyways, I was supposed to meet a guy by the name of cutworm59, another YouTuber out there, and well, there was an emergency at the school. My daughter had received a concussion, and well, I couldn't stop and see him, but he had some stuff for me, and I was a little upset that I couldn't get what I needed from him. Where in the hell did I set this thing? Anyway, well, it has to do with this flathead V8, which I'm about ready to pull out of here, by the way, and I'm going to try and loosen it up again. Yeah, it has to do with a flathead V8. So he had given me, let's see if I can get this thing in the right spot. He had given me engine valves, brand new, old stock Ford engine valves. They're from Western Auto. Now I just opened this up. I actually haven't looked in it. Look at this. This one says for 34 Ford V8. 54 Ford V8. That's not right. That says 34 Ford V8. Well, anyways, there's a lot of them in here. And he gave me all these crazy valves. Intake and exhaust. He boxed them up and he shipped them without ever asking for anything in return. Well, that's a guy right there. Here's one. Engine valve. 34 to 48. 39 Mercury 39, Lincoln Zephyr 36 to 48, intake and exhaust. So they must have been the same size valves for that particular engine. And I mean, there's boxes here that they're all starting to fall the heck apart, and they're brand new. I mean, oh, look at that. You ever see a valve like that? I think this one's actually bent. No, it's not. And this one, I don't know. It's brand new. So, anyways, these are all. They're actually Fords. They're actually Ford valves, but they're in the Western Auto box. Look at that. I'm gonna have to look and see if that's what the damn things look like on mine. On this 36 V8. See, I haven't gotten into it that far. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this motor. Yeah, see, now that's a different one. This is 49 to 50, Ford V8 49 to 50, Mercury 49 to 51 exhaust valve. So they did finally figure out that you couldn't put the same size valves. Some get hotter than others, some are hardened. There's another 49 to 50. I'm not even sure if they're the right valves in the right boxes, but all this stuff, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Oh, I mean, everything is so brittle. You know, these are to the 51s, but that's a different one. It looks a little odd to me. Top of it's flat, no indentations. I don't know. We're going to find out when I get that engine apart. But anyhow, Mr. Cutworm, I appreciate you sending this stuff up here, and if you're working on something and I see that you need something that I have, I'd be more than willing to ship it down there free of charge too, because, you know, kind of got to watch out for ourselves. Now, a lot of guys, they probably have never seen Cutworm's channel because, well, it's not a farming channel. It's kind of an interesting channel, I can say that. But yeah, it's kind of mechanics channel. He does things, I think he was a mechanic in his younger years, and by the name of his channel, I would think that he has probably was born in 1959. But anyways, he gave me some other interesting things, and here's one. It's a sticker that he gave me. I like Popeye, so that's pretty cool. Cutworm59. And here's one. No tools are left in this toolbox overnight. They can be found all over the garage floor. I like that. It's pretty good. I'm putting that toolbox over there. Apex gun parts. Oh, that's another thing. Cutworm is also a gunsmith, and every once in a while he'll pull out a AK-47 or something like that. And then he also gave me this Ford, this Loveless Tractor Company, Conway, Arkansas, because he is out of Arkansas. So anyway, yeah. So that's the story with the valves. I'm a little mellowed out here today. I'm pretty tired. Got a lot of work to do tomorrow, and I don't know how I'm going to get through the day. So I'm going to find a place for those stickers and these really cool engine exhaust and intake valves, and we'll just go ahead and get on with that. Now this flathead V8, I haven't screwed with it since I put it up on the stand. All I've been doing is putting PB Blaster in the cylinders there. It's probably pretty doggone close to wanting to spin around and run freely. I mean, that's just my thoughts on the whole thing. I think that I've put enough of that crap in there. Now, Cutworm did mention that what I should do is actually pull that pan off the bottom of it, which I have every intention of doing. Pull the pan off the bottom of it and go ahead and pour some gasoline down in those pistons, and then from there that will warm up those pistons and possibly break free the pistons from the cylinder walls. So get this thing out in a better light. Just drug it over here. Yeah. This is just a single carburetor manifold, and there's some numbers there. That PB Blaster has really, if you look in there, it has loosened up everything that was on those valves. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think that this engine, I mean, I'm 99.9% sure that this engine was rebuilt before it ended up, you know, getting wet or seizing up over time. So I don't know what it's going to do, but right now I'm actually going to go ahead and hook up this little gizmo here and see if I can get that compressed air in there and get this bad boy to turn free. If it does, it's going to blow my mind. If it doesn't, well, it's just normal stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more. Okay. I'm doing is actually heating up the lifter guides, or the, you know, where the guides for the lifters. Not doing much heat, just enough to piss it off. And because I know that the crankshaft is free, but I'm not sure about I know those lifters are not free. They're just not free, so I just want to put some gentle heat on that. And that'll clean some of the rust off too, believe it or not. And from there I can blow out any of the crap and get it all loosened up. I mean, look at all those sparks and shit coming out of there. We got fire and all kinds of other crazy things going on. But there is an oil tube there that feeds the front end of this block. I think that I've got it, that it's going to just release. I don't get too hot. Even if I get all but one of them, it'll break free then. That cam won't break. These things are tougher than anybody thinks, but I I think I'm pretty damn close to having this thing spin a full 360 degrees. Not 365, 360 degrees. And yeah, I'll be pretty happy. I mean, I'm really excited now. I mean, I've just been farting with this thing, a little here and a little there, throwing some PB blaster in there, just a little at a time, and I think my patience has paid off, because I have gotten it to turn about a quarter of a turn. Oop, there it is. Now, let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what was locking it up. Okay. I'm hoping there's a couple of... I don't want to break the cam, but I know this one here is a little messed up, so you could probably just tap on it. I got a brass hammer. And thanks to Cutworm, I think I'll have enough valves if I bend one. Oh, good golly. Yeah, well, this one has moved. Yeah, they're moving. They are definitely moving, so let me work it back and forth a little bit, and then I'll get back to you. I can't set this camera up because I busted out the mount for the tripod. Really pissed me off when I did it, but anyways, okay. Here we go. All right. So here I am back at this V8, flathead V8. I've got the heads off. I think you saw that already in the video. I have now managed to get it to turn over 360 degrees multiple times. I didn't show this on film, but what I did was I turned the the engine stand to its side so that the pistons were upside down. Now, I got this engine pretty warm with the torch. Not overly warm, but pretty warm with the torch. Now, what I've done is I've actually put Lucas engine oil stabilizer in there, in the sleeves, in the cylinders, because they got a lot of rust and stuff in there, and that makes it turn really hard. So my next challenge, and I can call it a challenge, but it's not really going to be that big of a challenge, is going to be to get these valves to work properly. So what I'm going to do, and probably half of you guys have already said this in your head, is when I do get the time to do this, I'm just going to soak it down with PB Blaster for now. Put the heads back on, kind of, sort of, half-assed way. Well, I ought to put them all the way back on again. Anyways, I'm going to soak that all down in there with PB Blaster, or maybe just take some diesel fuel and dump down in there, get it nice and level, and just fill that whole valley up with diesel fuel, so that it drains back down into the leaking oil pan. But I'm sure you guys are probably wanting to see it turn over. Well, I've got this behemoth bar here, and what I've done is I just kind of pinched it against the engine stand, and you can see that this engine here, this piston's coming up and going down, but the valves are all stuck out. So, I mean, that's okay. I don't mind the valves being stuck out. That just means they're not stuck in. So what I'm going to do, and I'm telling you, this thing has not ran. This thing was rebuilt at some point. You can see where I had tried to push on it a little bit there with a piece of aluminum. I think it was another piston I had turned upside down. Can't remember now. It's been a couple months ago. But anyway, yeah, these valves, you know, I forced them out with the camshafts, because they were just, these lifters are just stuck in there. Just stuck in there. Now, these are an adjustable style lifter. You can see that they have well, they have an adjuster on them. I believe they're adjustable. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty damn sure they're adjustable. Which, you know, oh well, could have racing parts in it for all I know. Anyway, yeah. So there it is. It actually turns over 360 degrees, and I'm just gonna soak her down, like I said, and fill her with diesel fuel or whatever I've got to do. I'm gonna put the I'll put the heads back on altogether, and slide it back over in its spot until I get a better day to work on it. So, anyways, there it is. One flathead V8, one lonely flathead is turning over. So, missed a heavy Chevy. Now all you got to do is give me that car, or sell me that car, and we can put his heart back in it when I get her going. Okay, so it's back in this little resting spot. I poured the Weasel diesel down in on top of that valley, and of course it ran right down to the pan. as expected, but you know, at least I got a good coating on there. It should be okay, but I didn't tighten up the stud nuts this time. No need to, because I do have it freed up. Now the next thing to do is actually pull that engine off the stand, reposition the mount and slide it back in there so that I can flip it upside down and actually pull the pan off and get into the rods and knock out those valves and everything else that are in there. So anyways, that's next on the list of stuff to do. See you next time.